The viewpoints expressed on The Edge are not necessarily those of this radio station, its staff,
management, or other sponsors. It's time for the Edge Radio broadcast as we discover the truth together. Within the continental U.S., call toll-free 1-800-996-9638. Or locally here in Indiana, 359-5593. That's toll-free 1-800-996-9638. Or locally at 359-5593. You can find out more about our guests and topics by logging on to The Edge's website, theedgeam.com. That's theedgeam.com.
Thursdays on The Edge.
Markets, I've seen you in the streets and at your political convention, talking of your crusade, talking of your nation and other things too terrible to mention. And you proclaim your Christianity, you proclaim your love of God, you talk of apple pie and mom. Well, I've just got one question and I want an answer. Tell me, who would Jesus bomb? Maybe Jesus would bomb the Syrians, 'cause they're not Jews like him. Maybe Jesus would bomb the Afghans on some kind of vengeful whim. Maybe Jesus would drive an M1 tank and he would shoot Saddam. Who would Jesus bomb? And on the battleships, I've seen you in the house upon the hill, and I've heard you talking about making the world safer and about all the men you have to kill. And you speak so glibly about your civilization and how you have the moral higher ground, while halfway around the world your explosives smash the buildings. Ah, if you could only hear the sound. But maybe Jesus would sell landmines and turn on his electric chair. Maybe Jesus would show no compassion for his enemies in the lands way over there. Maybe Jesus would have flown the planes that killed the kids in Vietnam. Who would Jesus bomb? Yes, I hear you shout with confidence as you praise the Lord, and you talk about this God you know so well. You talk of Armageddon and your final victory when all the evil forces go to hell. Well, you'd best hope you've chosen wisely on the right side of the Lord, and when you die your conscience it is clear. You'd best hope your atom bombs are better than the sword at the time when your reckoning is here. 'Cause I don't think Jesus would send gunships into Bethlehem or jets to raise the towns of Timorese. I don't think Jesus would lend money to dictators or drive those SUVs. And I don't think Jesus would ever have dropped a single ounce of napalm. So tell me, who would Jesus bomb?
Hello, I'm Andy Radford and welcome to another Edge UK Studio Thursday show. On the show this week we have an Edge exclusive from UK New World Order correspondent Stuart Harrison. He looks into the UK halls of power and occult practices with some exclusive Edge photographs. Edge correspondent Gina Romano continues her superb expose into organised gang stalking and electronic warfare against innocent populations. This week her guest is Truth Brigade Radio host Christie Czajkowski. And at the end of the show we take a look into the proposed FEMA concentration camp / internment camps for the United States of America. The Edge Thursday show is the show for the listener, and we will welcome your audio input, your songs, your written copy or your prose. Just send them to us at theedgeam.com and we will broadcast them for you on the Edge's Thursday show. If you want to take part with the theedgeam.com, you can go to our forum and state your opinion and view. Or we don't mind if you disagree with the host or the guest, or agree with the host or the guest. We are just looking for intellectual comment and answers. Perhaps you would like to become a voluntary Edge correspondent. Now just go to the Edge's homepage at theedgeam.com and under the main media player you will see the link. We are looking for Edge correspondents. Just click that and the information will appear in front of your screens. Please note it could take 2 or 3 weeks for us to get back to you because Edge correspondence is proving very popular indeed, but don't worry, you will hear from us. Before we go any further, here is Edge correspondent Stuart Harrison's report from the UK Halls of Power.
All fellow Edge listeners, this is Edge correspondent Stuart Harrison, aka Watchman X, bringing you what I hope you will find to be an exciting revelation regarding what is going on right now around the seats of power in England. I very recently journeyed to London on, let's call it, a sightseeing mission. What you are all going to hear in this talk is information that the one and only Creator once brought out into the light for everyone to see. I did not know before I left home that this subject matter would become a huge part of the reason for my journey. However, when I came across it, I knew that he had led me to a certain location for a reason. Before I can reveal the exact details, I must share a brief and very basic recap in some ancient stuff of legend. For many of you, this will be a mere refresher. The legends I am going to talk to you about is in regard to that of the sacred white bull, or cow. In the story of Gilgamesh, reference is made to Humbaba, who guards the throne of Nini, who is in the form of Ishtar. Also, Humbaba is referenced to be a raging bull that guards the sacred forest. The primary tree in that sacred forest represents the consort of that bull god Humbaba. Humbaba is the first physical beast god incarnation, which got dismembered and cast into the sea. His mother, who in Egyptian legend is Hathor, gathered all the parts together again, only to be missing just one piece, the phallus. The bull child is thus reborn from the sea as Dionysus. So even though the physical